You
she
ever
pay?
like at this point of your life wish you never bought?
No, I don't. Just because I don't like being in service of anybody else. I want the freedom to do what I want. If I want to knock down a wall, I want to be able to knock down a wall. I'm not knocking down a wall now, but like when I got this place, I did a lot of work on it myself, and you get permission from people or like just I don't know. I want the freedom to do whatever the hell I want.
I saw a thing that was very interesting. That DeSantis is thinking about not charging property tax in Florida. I don't understand. He said that
And
it
collecting
doesn't.
revenue how?
I guess buying the Florida Gold Card, which would be you can be a resident of Florida for 1 million.
Buy in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you be a no. It actually made sense. He said it doesn't make sense for him that you buy the property and you should own it, but then you have to pay property taxes every year. And I was just like, I'm all for that. Like, no income tax, no property tax. Uh,
Okay, so let's read this for those listening. It says that he says property taxes are an oppressive form of taxation, likening them to paying rent to the government for living on one's own property. I'm with you, Ron. How are
See?
you paying your firemen, police, roads, and teachers? Well, he doesn't pay teachers. DeSantis has stated he would support a constitutional amendment to eliminate property taxes in Florida. However, this process will require the approval from 60% of blah, 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 blah. The boldest amendment on the ballot. In response to a statement, a bill has been filed in the Florida Senate calling for a formal study on how eliminating real estate taxes would affect public service. Yeah, hell is mentally challenged enough not to immediately say, come on,
Hey,
Ron.
that's my governor you're talking about there.
Jesus Christ. 42 point. So, okay, so all he's got to raise, Kev, all he's got to raise to offset this. Now, I know the new administration's math is is a little different. All he has to raise is $42.7 billion annually, somehow else.
It'll be that 29.7 percent sales tax.
He's doubling it from 6 to 12%. Were you joking or did you read that?
No, I figure that's where it
Yeah.
would. That's what they do in Canada. You got like
Right.
23 sales taxes.
That'll encourage people to go out and spend and get that economy moving.
Well, they won't be spending it on their house. I guarantee you, you give me back my 20 something thousand dollars in taxes, I won't have a problem spending a little bit back out.
I'd be leaving no tip at Hyde Park with
Well,
that 12%.
that's up to you if you want to get the pube in your hair and your food.
What
You're,
food? They're
get
out
to
of steak.
yeah. Well, that's the ongoing thing now. I just heard the other day that beef's going to be like eggs, another commodity that we just
Going to be limiting.
yeah.
Did you send me that or did someone else? Hyde Park had a promo
I
on
sent it to
Instagram.
you.
You did, okay.
The old fashioned.
That's right. I think I single handedly brought that back by talking about it. Um, Braxton Rasmussen. Hey Kev, I met you in Wichita 2 years ago at a signing, but was so starstruck I couldn't say anything. I might have come across as rude, but I didn't know what to say. I just wanted to say how I appreciate how nice you were. Like you, I lost my dad when I was 9, and the NWO was my favorite thing. And when he died, you guys were a great distraction from that time. I just wanted to say thank you.
So the NWO was my '68 Tigers.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you were, give me a 68 Tiger player.
Okay, line.
Al Kaling, I know Al Kaling. Did he play for
Really?
the Mets after that?
No,
Okay.
I think he was a Tiger for life. Give you the '68. I give you the '68 entire
You could
fucking
do the lineup?
yeah. Catcher was Bill Freehand. First base was Norm Cash. Second base was Dick McAuliffe. Shortstop was Ray Oyler or Dick Trzeski. Third baseman Don Wirt. right field was K-Line. Center field was Northrup or Mickey Stanley. Left field was Willie Horton. Rotation was Denny McLain, who had 31 wins to pass Dizzy Dean that year for the most wins in a season. Mickey Lolich, who won 3 games in the '68 series. Joe Sparma and a guy we picked up from the Red Sox, Earl Wilson. And then John Hiller was the reliever, and our pinch hitter was Gates Brown.
Manager.
Mayo Smith
Very good. Well
beat
done.
the Red Shandies, led Cardinals in the series. The first game we played was at St. Louis, and we faced Bob Gibson. And fucking Gibson struck out like 17 fucking Tigers. And me and my brother just sat there like, oh, fuck. It's going to be a long series.
Some feedback from last week. Kev, BBGCTX says, retired NYPD. We knew for almost an hour that Building 7 was coming down. This is in reference to our World Trade Center discussion last week. They were going over the radio telling everyone to clear the area. I can't believe it's still a mystery that the building was imploded.
I watched a really interesting clip the other day. So now I've decided that I'm going to follow this one Instagram. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's an Instagram page, and all they do is it's just about
Conspiracies?
no, just the World Trade Center
Oh,
conspiracy.
oh.
So let me
Say
see how.
Mikey with Pop Rocks is going to be on there. And...
No, but so it's called NYC low slash WTC, and they just so they had an interview with one of the fire chiefs, and he said that he was on the radio with um, a group of firefighters that made it up to like the 79th floor or whatever it was
Mm-hmm.
with their hoses, and they said that there were 2 fires on the floor and they would be able to maintain the fires. And then shortly, like within a minute after that, the building came down. So, in his estimation, a guy that had been fighting fires his whole fucking life, he told his boss that they had it. So,
So, Doubt 131977 says, being a New Yorker, I agree with Kev. Those towers fell down more like a planned implosion than just crumbling. Also, one thing I've always wondered in the 24 years since, why would a building not come down like that if it was hit in the higher part of the tower? Not conspiracy theory thinking, but how scientifically did the buildings just collapse when they hit over 50 floors higher than the street level base, which is kind of what.
that's always been my.
But I got an email, Kevin, from, let me find this. It was too long for me to put in there, so I'm just going to open it. And I'm just going to give the highlights of this. It was in regards to exactly this discussion, and this is from Andrew Hulshult, who says,
Who is he? What gives this guy his credibility on
he's
anything
got as much
saying?
credibility as NYC _ WTC on
So
Instagram.
no, so he's just another. So we're stopping the show. We're opening an email
You don't
for
even
just
know what he
another
wrote.
another motherfucker. But it's just another. It's a theory.
The show's been chock full of them since we
I
started
understand that, but
139 episodes
okay,
ago.
as long as he can explain the ATA passport, I'm all in.
Well, I'll help you with that because I went to
All
the
right.
museum. There are, in the collection in the museum, there are ID cards from people, badges from people that were in there, the debris from the
Well, why
destruction.
did he have
There's a
his
lot of
passport?
life that was
Why did he have his passport?
to get on the plane,
He didn't need him back then.
but you
It
could
was,
use it as a
it
form
was
of
before
ID.
9/11.
That was-
He had a fucking driver's license.
You could use it to get on a plane.
You could use your driver's license.
You could, but he maybe didn't have one.
Maybe he did. Maybe it's known that he had one.
You don't want to hear about how the fireproofing on the floors was blown off when the towers were hit, or that fires don't need to melt anything as long as they weaken the support load, and the beams did in fact get hot enough to weaken and could not support the upper floors.
Not unless
Do you want to hear about how
not unless he knows the structural architecture, that the beams as they went down got larger.
Oh, now we need a
and
scientist on the show.
no, we don't
didn't
need
have
a
a scientist
We
last
don't need
week.
a scientist. Some of those beams and the floors below it were 56 fucking inches wide. It was fucking designed and engineered to withstand that.
The
So
fire
no.
suppression systems were compromised from the collapse of the others, and the lower
Says
half
who?
had a main feed that was linked to the other building's
Where's this where's this
system.
information from?
I mean, I have to read the whole thing then. Well, he gives you the passport one. I'm not giving a pass on that one. I think the passport could have easily been among the debris with the ambulance drivers whose badges were down there and the people who
Or
worked.
the pristine bullet that was in JFK's gurney.
Well, he says that he loves us and we're the best. He just wanted to shoot you an email in the hopes that you could turn on the same light in my head and turn it on in your head. If not, no biggie.
Yeah.
And I even got a picture of
You know what? If one thing's going to do it, it's somebody's email.
I got the pic. Oh, Andrew,
Because
send another email. Just call it WTC_NYC for the
no,
credibility.
I fucking told you last week why. When I woke up, it was over. I turned on. I don't know what the fuck that is. Was
The
it
beams and brackets to show how they collapsed. Go ahead. I even got visual aids.
Really? Let me show you the ones with the fucking that are standing there that are cut at a fucking angle that look like a thermite fucking cut that they use when they do implosion. Let's pull those photos up.
I need a
And
scientist before I
you,
look at those.
and
I
you,
can't.
and you explain that away from the situation.
When the scientist shows up to explain the thermal como se llama, then I'll listen. Travelator Hater wrote in and said, changing gears here, very obviously. T was about to be a character on the show. Kevin would talk about him and his hobbies and just his general demeanor, and he is to me a T, no, pun intended. The week before he passed, I remember he had the most airtime he'd ever had on the show, and I knew it was only a week or two away before Kevin and Sean were like, fuck it, T, grab a microphone. It blindsided me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't understand why the show was even on, I guess, the episode after he passed. I figured the message was just going to be short and concise, and that was a wrap on the show. But Kevin saying he would do another show was the best kick-out false finish of all time. Thank you guys, Kev, Sean, and T, and those behind the scenes.
No, it was T was the reason that I did the show in the first place.
But I did enjoy like having some on-air interaction with him more
And
and
it wasn't
more
that
than just
he was going to be a character. He was going to be T, who
he
was a
playing the
character.
character of T. T was a
Yeah, I
character.
mean, T was a character. I mean, it wasn't he was going to be a character. It's not like we're scripted. God forbid. I mean, we're about the furthest. We make Curb look like fucking Shakespeare.
This is the Curb Your Enthusiasm of podcasts.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
have about a 15-minute powwow. And then even when we try to get something organized before the show with the five of us, it's just a round robin on fucking talking about whatever we're what the five of us are talking about. Has
Right.
nothing to do with the show.
Right. It bleeds into the first segment sometimes, and
Sometimes,
then it's gone.
yeah, but most of the time it's just the five of us, and we're talking about, you know. I remember one time. I remember when Wes closed down his house. Before the show, we just kind of talked about closing down his house for the whole time and everything else, and we just kind of went, okay, and this well. I think today Wes said, "Hey, man, 7:30 to start show."
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
today, right? We were just
yeah.
bullshitting for a half hour.
Wes said, "Hey, we need to start the show." Like,
We
okay,
didn't
thanks,
open the
Wes.
door for the
Ah,
studio audience
fucking off.
till rather late.
It's it's one of those things that it's just you try not to turn the news on every day. So today I said, you know what? I said I'm going to put the news on, but I'm going to put on Fox. I'm not gonna watch anything but Fox today. So I watched Fox for an hour, and Laura Ingle came on. She was on some other woman's show, but she came on and she was doing a kind of a spot for like later on. She on her show. I think she's on at 7. I'm not sure, but I think she comes on at 7. And she was down in Gitmo with her colleague, the Secretary of Defense, that used to be on Fox, Pete. And I did not know that Gitmo was like 45 square miles,
I didn't know it was that big either.
the size of it. And I thought to myself, I'm like, so if we got 45 square miles of base down in Gitmo, and we're going to bring, like, can't we? I mean, I don't know what Gaza is just in square miles. Was it an 8 by 4 maybe?
I
What
didn't
was
know there was that
Gaza?
much room in Cuba.
He was big.
It's not that big.
Shit, man. You ever look
45
at
square
Cuba?
miles. But go ahead. So go ahead. Palestine. You're talking about Hamas, Gaza.
Let's see, it's 100. So the Gaza
141 square.
141. So they're gonna have to fucking tighten it up. We have to do some high rises.
Yeah. How much is beachfront? So you want to move maybe some residents from Gaza to Cuba? Is that what
Well, they
you were
said they
about
were.
to
I mean, that
propose?
was what didn't Trump say he was going to move them someplace nice? I figured the tropics would be nice.
Caribbean? Sure. I got dry patches on my arms now. What is this?
Oh, put tallow on it.
Yeah, I guess. But why the fuck is this shit? Is this 50? That all this shit starts to happen?
Oh, dude. My legs from my knees
Nice.
down, if I don't put like that gold bond on them like 5 times a day, I look like the mummy.
You ashy?
Oh, fuck. I'm so
I
ashy.
first felt it on my shins.
Yeah, that's
Like
where it starts.
oh, is it shingles? What do I have? It's just dry
No,
skin?
it's no. And then you get these things called barnacles. It's, I'm telling you, man,
On my hull?
on your fucking legs.
Isn't this supposed to take care of all this? Isn't my bovine
You
colostrum?
you ain't drinking enough. Fucking, you're not getting enough.
I drink it twice a day.
You need to take do you take collagen? I mean, just pure collagen.
Um, in what form? Maybe
Just you
it's
can do it
in.
in powder form.
No, I'm not drinking collagen. I need to drink collagen now too.
Yeah, you put some
Will
I
that
mean,
help the
I have
neck?
to, and I'm not doing enough, and I guarantee you're not taking enough vitamin D.
I'm
You
probably
got to have
not.
it with K. It's just
Isn't
like
it with the thing with you just don't you just piss him right out, Kevin? Let's be honest about
not
vitamins.
D. No, D's not water soluble.
Can I just stand in the sun for a few minutes and get my vitamin D?
Yeah, if you yeah, good luck in Jersey for fucking 9 months out of the year when you don't have any. You just go vitamin D deficient for you get your vitamin D for the couple trips you have down here, and then
Exactly.
so
For the 2 weeks I get to sit in my pool up
yeah.
here. Who else was listening last week? I know that Jamie Barrett was. Jamie said, Kevin is so right. Sean is very smooth transitioning into a product plug. I was impressed how he went from Kendrick's jeans to true classic jeans.
Oh, sweet.
Jamie, I hope you ordered a pair of that.